Hello, my name is Shara Babatunde from Kemblue, and welcome to Secrets of Black British Growth. This episode is called Stop Being Humble. Now, let's get into it, right? Over the years, as a consultant working primarily with Black-owned startups, I've been privileged to work in the UK with Black entrepreneurs who have built 6 to 7 figure businesses in under 5 years. I have worked with these individuals very closely and I've seen their growth with my own eyes. In this video series, I want to share with you some of the secrets to Black business growth in the UK. Let's get started. So if you're new here and you want more information about growing your business and content specifically created to support Black-owned businesses in the UK specifically as well, please subscribe, click the bell so you get a notification when a video is uploaded, and just keep yourself informed, and we're going to keep giving you content that would help. Now, today's episode is called Stop Being Humble. And I know you're thinking, for those who have seen episode 1, which is called Be Humble, it sounds like I'm backtracking or I'm contradicting myself. But in actual fact, I'm addressing a similar concept in a different context, right? So, as usual, I like to make it clear. What I don't mean when I say stop being humble is, be horrible or be mean or think you're better than others and they're inferior, or talk down to either stakeholders, employees or clients. And I don't mean assume you know everything. So let's just make it very, very clear when I say stop being humble, I don't mean those things. But let's talk about what I do mean. And again, as you know, typical Shire style, I'm going to try and illustrate this with a bit of a story. I have one or two today, so bear with me. So there's a business associate I recently connected with, and he's been constantly growing in success over years. He's been doing really well. He has 2 successful businesses. I think he has more, but I can remember 2 off the top of my head. One is in property and the other is in accountancy. And he has one of the largest accountancy firms in the UK within the industry that he focuses on. Now, the other day we were discussing his business growth. And I asked him, when did he see the change in his growth in his business? Because when I have these conversations, I like to get the gems out. I like to talk to people and find out more. Either people that I've worked with, I talk to them about it, or people that I'm associated with that I work closely in conjunction with. I also ask them similar questions so that I can have a lot more information to share with you guys. And again, I asked him, when did he see the change in his business? When did the change begin? And he said in about 2018, he saw a shift and he went really hard and it paid off. So I asked him, what happened? What made that change happen? What happened in his environment or for himself? What happened that made that change? And he says, I don't really know. I think I just decided that I didn't want to be a small business anymore. I just decided I wanted more. Now, in the last episode, I was addressing those of us who have confidence, and the confidence makes us feel that we don't need any help or support, and we feel we can, just because we can deliver, automatically it means our businesses will grow. This episode, I'm talking to those of us who have something amazing in our hands, but we feel like, we're too small to make anything big out of it, right? And this guy, when he spoke, he basically had that shift in mindset where he was doing okay, it was going good, but he decided, I don't want to be a small business anymore. I want to be bigger. I want to do more. And it was that decision that really catapulted his growth. Rather than anything outside, any other catalyst outside, it was more so his mindset. And that's not to say he didn't work hard. I'm just saying it was his mindset that changed first. And in my culture, parents would often use this phrase or ask this question to someone who's excelling, or they ask it to their child about someone who's excelling when they want their child to excel also. And the question they used to ask is, does he have 2 heads? Or they'll say, do they have 2 heads? That's what they'd say. And the question is posed as a challenge to the fact that someone's doing more than you. And there may be somebody out there who's doing more than you, who has less than you have. Do they have 2 heads? Now, the idea is not to ignore the various privileges and challenges that we face as individuals. So of course, there are things that happen in your circumstance that mean you can't do the same as somebody else. But rather to remind us that as humans, we are all capable. Many people I work with and I speak to regularly are afraid to change their service and charge what they're worth. Sorry, to change their prices and charge what they're worth. There's something that they often, have in their minds that makes them feel, I can't charge more than this. And not because what they're charging is extortionate, it's actually worth what they're offering, but they just don't feel comfortable with it. And again, to be transparent, this is something that I personally consistently have to overcome. Sometimes it's just out of a comfort zone. to believe we can achieve what we actually want to. So we make up excuses and we talk ourselves out of it. And that's the honest truth. Sometimes it's not that we can't. We probably can if we try, but we're actually afraid to try. You know, I can't charge that much. I've just started, or no one knows my brand yet. I can't approach that big company. Let me focus and just post them on Insta until someone notices me. And again, this is not to knock what anyone's doing or to suggest that, you know, everybody should be doing the most amazing thing straight away. Or somebody might say, I can't collaborate with him or her. They're too busy. They probably won't even check their email. The reality is most of us are scared of being rejected. So we're scared to go big, but we pretend that we're just being humble. We keep our prices low and we say, oh, we're doing it to help X or Y. But the truth is, we're scared of the rejection that charging the right price will attract. That's the honest truth for most of us. So I speak to people often who might say, you know, I just want to help these people. And I'm not saying they don't want to help people. I'm not saying that. But they're actually afraid to make money or to charge an appropriate amount because they're actually afraid of being rejected. They don't actually know if anyone would actually pay. But we cover it with, oh no, I just want to help, you know. But that's the reality. So when I say stop being humble, what I actually mean is stop being scared. Now, of course, it's not as easy as just stopping. But first and foremost, call it out to yourself. Be real with yourself. Is it that you're really trying to take your time, or are you just scared of it flopping? Is it that you're really trying to help somebody out, or are you afraid that they won't pay the price? First stage is to be real with yourself. So first thing I mean when I say stop being humble is try and be real with yourself. The next thing I mean is change your environment. You might have people around you saying, I don't think anyone will pay for that. Or, you know, really? Is that much how much you're charging? Oh, I don't know. And sometimes people are like, oh yeah, it's good to get customer feedback. You know, honestly, some of the people you're talking to are not your prospects. They're not your target market at all. I tell you this, right? Don't actually take advice or critique, or let me rephrase that. Let me not say don't take critique. Let me say be mindful and careful with advice or critique that come from people who haven't paid for anything. I used to run a shoe business years ago with women's shoes. And we'd put a range out and some people would buy, some people wouldn't buy. Then we'd put a shoe up that was just like fancy. It was a catwalk shoe, just to, you know, it was the designer showing off a little bit. And people were like, oh my gosh, yeah. Oh wow, this is amazing. Oh, how much is it? Oh, I'd love to get it. Oh, this is fantastic. Oh my gosh, you know. But it would always be one piece, so it would only be probably in one size, and that would be the only pair. People were like, oh my gosh. So what we would do is we would say, oh right, people really want this, and we'd create more pairs, and we'd say, okay, great guys, those who wanted it, come and buy. Tumbleweeds. Nobody was buying, because people would often, you know, talk about what they would buy or what they wouldn't buy flippantly because they want to be heard, but it doesn't actually reflect what the market is actually doing. So be very careful and change your environment, and be around people who are going to encourage your craziness. And that sounds really weird, but no, you need to be around people who are going to encourage your craziness. And I don't mean people who are going to encourage your craziness because they're yes people. I mean people who are going to encourage your craziness because they're doing their own craziness. People who are also trying to do very big things, and the moment you see them doing big things, you begin to develop the same audacity to do the big things that you need to do and you want to do. Let me tell you another quick story. So there's a gentleman called Lawrence Brand. He's a British lad. He owns a company called Porter Light Bikes. If you Google him, he was Forbes 30 under 30 2017. I worked with him as a business coach and mentor in 2015/16 as a part of a government program I used to work with called the NEA. Quick point, there are articles about him being on the program and all these things, so I'm not delving any information I'm going to get in trouble about, just to make that very clear. But this guy was the perfect combo of being humble and stop being humble. He came to me with a cargo bike. The bike, he made it himself. You know, he's an engineering background. He made it himself and he rode it to Belgium, and he had like all his luggage at the side. So he rode from London to Belgium, or the UK. I don't know if it was London, but he rode from the UK to Belgium. And in terms of engineering, this product and him, absolute genius. But he was humble enough to engage in a program and with me as his business coach and mentor to get some support. He didn't say, oh, this is a great product, and because I think it's a great product, just can take it to market without any support. And when we had discussions and we were discussing ideas and strategies, we decided to land and settled on a strategy for him to sell his bike to companies like Deliveroo and Just Eat. At the time, Uber Eats wasn't around, but I think Deliveroo and Just Eat were the guys who were around at the time. Now, when this idea was presented to him and we discussed it and he looked at the details and looked at the information, he didn't hold back because he wasn't experienced. He hadn't done a lot of bike pitches to brands before or to large brands before, so it's not as though this was like his territory. But he believed his bike was good enough and he had enough audacity to at least present it to them. Long story short, he went for it and he got a contract with Deliveroo, and he produces cargo bags for them across the world. This is how he became Forbes 30 under 30 in 2017, and I think also subsequent years after that, right? And again, he was humble enough to say, let me get help. But he wasn't like, oh, but I've just started and I'm small and I haven't got a big factory yet. And no, this guy was like, okay, that could work. Yeah, let's see how it could work. He took the idea, took the audacity, went for it. I know he got a little bit of funding to kind of get some things in place. Then he went for it, got the deal, fantastic. And with a lot of the growing in success, that's what I call them. They're not just successful, they're growing in success. So they haven't even arrived yet. They've got so much more to come. But with the growing in success Black-owned businesses I've worked with, most that I still work with, all of them that run it, they had a level of audacity that allowed them to make big moves and improve their chances of growth. They're still afraid to fail. I don't think anyone wants failure, and no one gets over the fact that they don't like failure, but they tried anyway, because they know if they don't try, they won't succeed. In all honesty, when I say stop being humble, I am saying believe in what you have, believe in who you are, and build a healthy relationship with rejection, because it is part of the journey. The sooner you overcome that, the faster you'll grow. And the sooner we hide behind this face of, or this wall of, I'm just starting, I'm just small. It's just, because let's be honest, a lot of us have big dreams. And in all honesty, the quicker you stop being humble, as I've put it, the faster you begin to achieve those dreams. Before that success comes is audacity. That audacity won't come out, that audacity won't flourish if you don't stop being humble. At Ken Blue, we focus on supporting Black-owned businesses to start, stabilize, and scale through strategic planning and accountability. We are currently offering free sessions to anyone who wants to build a strategy that helps them build consistent income within 6 to 8 months. If you know deep down you have something amazing to offer, stop being humble. Click the link in the description and get some free help. We hope to hear from you soon.